Hello, and welcome to Fraternizing with the Fey.
Special guest, RGM.
Hi, everybody.
Neil, the creator of Fey Earth. An indie TTRPG where all the creatures of fairytale and folklore are real, have always been real, and blah, blah, blah. I've heard that a lot the last few days.
Yeah. I really enjoyed every time you said it though, because I was really like,
I was like,
you do this a lot.
It has become my tag
really
for my game.
it.
Like, yes.
Yeah, it does. It makes it all feel very professional.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
We're totes professional.
Yeah, we
We've
are.
totally been so professional this whole time.
The whole time.
The whole
We're pros.
time.
We're all
the whole
pros. This is a
time.
table.
The whole time.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was.
I'm really sad that it's done.
Me too. I don't want it to be over.
I don't want to make any promises,
But
but
do we
has to be
think this
another
is
one.
the end? Because, like, I don't think anyone does.
no.
No, it can't be.
I want to play these characters until the end.
No sense.
Like, I want to
love
get them all the way.
No, you're broken enough as it is at 10th level, you fucking druids.
I love these characters
I so badly
much.
want to. I like.
I'm gonna miss them so much.
Yeah. What I want to happen is for us to like keep playing for a bit and then do another filming one where we're like cooler.
Like a little bit of a time jump, but that
Yeah.
time jump
We've been
we're still
training to
playing.
catch
Yeah,
up.
like,
Alder.
because I feel like the next one shouldn't be us finding Aldous. We should have already defeated him. It should be a new thing. But like, I want to play out finding Aldous.
I think Robert needs the satisfaction of that.
Yeah.
I think Robert deserves it.
It's one of those things where it's like he's been right about Aldous the whole time.
Yes. He's not actually racist. Some goblins are
really
just
not.
assholes.
It's just like it's truly like a case of like he was right the whole time. Everyone around him was doubting him, and then it was found out like, oh no, yes, he is right the whole time, and it's just kind of like everything bad that's happened is because of Aldous in the last 72 hours.
God, yeah.
No, it
it
has to
all
be more
happened
than
in a
that.
few days.
No, it was like I think it was 4, maybe 5 days. I think it was 4 days.
4 or 5 days.
It was no more than
It's
5.
not a week. It's not.
No,
it's not-
it was no more than 5 days. I think it could have been 4.
Yeah, and so it's like okay, and he's just gone, but it's fine. We have other things happen before the fight.
But I've got something that belongs to him.
Yeah,
And Sylvie can cast locate person.
Yeah.
He can magically hide himself from that, probably. But
most
And
likely.
I've got that bracelet and the light thing. Find out what they're.
Sylvie's got
they're
so
useless.
much shit from his
Yeah, and also like you got underground connections.
Do you want me
I'll
to
do
tell
it.
you what the leather strap does?
I mean, yeah, like you'd figure it out, I guess. but
I mean, you would literally just go to Lloyd and ask him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go.
That is true.
It is called a bracelet of accuracy. When worn by somebody who uses projectile weapons, it gives them additional +1 to attacks.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Robert's stealing that.
Yeah.
Robert's not stealing. Robert's going to be like,
That's
what
for me.
guns do you use, my guy?
I
Like,
have done
You
this
throw a knife sometimes.
how many times have you thrown a knife?
twice.
How many times have I shot a gun?
Thousands.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
I've done the daggers twice in this campaign, but that's because I forgot about them.
The thing is, it's quite
That
funny
was our
because
first time playing.
Yeah.
this
And your
campaign.
character is a knife thrower. Like, they're actually
I
especially
have
good at
skill.
knife
I
throwing.
have a skill in knife throwing, and I forgot about it until.
You are actually more dead.
episode 10.
Your attack modifier throwing daggers was higher than your attack modifier with your enchanted cane.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
It was a +6 to hit with a bell cane and a +7 to
is
hit
so
when
more
throwing a
fun.
dagger.
How,
this is the most important thing.
how
And it
many
was
times do I have
on
to
the
say,
character
I
sheet.
am silly.
It was printed on the character sheet.
This is why I need things just like said to me.
I'm sure it was said to you as well.
Probably.
It was. It was.
I love you.
I love you so much.
It's my fatal flaw.
It is.
Yeah.
Your fatal flaw is never knowing what's going on in combat.
No,
Yeah.
literally.
You put me in combat, and all of a sudden,
All I'm going to say is I'm so glad you weren't playing a gunslinger again because, and this is in no way disrespect or disingenuous toward Lyndon. Lyndon is doing an amazing job. He's a wonderful GM. Demons and Daughters is incredible. But the simple fact of the matter is, the gunslinger in Fey Earth is very different to the gunslinger in D&D.
Yes. Yes.
And if we had Agatha playing a Fey Earth gunslinger, one of the other party members would be dead from her that one.
Every time.
Yeah.
We'd all die immediately.
Yous would be all dead.
I was saying that.
Except we
moment
wouldn't be
ago.
because
Or Agatha would have lost both hands.
yeah.
Because you just in this one combat alone gave quite a lot. Of
Oh, it was like I think
You
it
were
was
doing
over.
like
I think it
40,
was.
50
I,
at a time.
it was somewhere.
it's almost
It was like over 80 points of damage you did, I think, against Aldous
Yeah.
in that last fight.
How much damage did I give? I gave 6 damage. in
It's
this
so
combat.
Bardo though, to just do nothing
It
and
really
then
has-
just take credit.
It has been fun seeing the Bardo character develop.
Yeah.
From, like, it started off with, like, yeah, no, I'm the cool guy who's in charge, and, like,
Yeah.
I know all this stuff. And, like, you do know all this stuff, but as it, like, the fights have gone increasing a lot, it's just kind of,
We're like, wait a minute.
like, truly. But the thing is, like, it's one of those things where it's, like, you always come in at, like, at the end of the combat, you do a damage, and it's like, yeah, and Bardo did, look at that, Bardo did one of the final blows.
I mean, I will say this: the way I designed the rogue class in this system, you can be the really murderous stabby rogue and do tons of damage. There's a rogue skill called Assassin, where, like, at mastery, you're rolling an additional d12 of damage if you have sneak attack when you attack. So you can be doing a lot, and the sneak attack modifiers, all the modifiers in Fey Earth are flat modifiers. So advantage is just you add +5. With sneak attack, it starts at +2 to attack and damage, and at the highest levels, it's a +8 to attack and damage on top of all your other modifiers. But you had made Bardo as a kind of an eloquent, like,
0.
yeah, like you had mimicry, which you used once, but you know,
Though there were so many times I noticed we would pick our glass up at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that that's just Robert
Bardo
Bardo
does.
Yeah.
their whiskey.
Yeah.
yeah. So like you had created a really great rogue character, but they just weren't a combat focused rogue.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't a bad rogue. They were really good for what Bardo was.
Yes.
But Bardo's not about killing people. Bardo's about taking credit for the other people killing people.
Which is, a very cool type of rogue.
Yeah. I love Bardo. Bardo was great.
Bardo was
Bardo and Robert as a duo are my favourite thing
been
that's
so
ever
fun.
happened. I am so obsessed.
The whole, do you want to marry Robert?
No,
He's
that all
just
about?
my friend.
I love that
care
we had
about him.
to roll and for you to tell us that you weren't in love with Robert. There was just a moment where,
was a moment.
I was like, is this homoerotic? I can't tell. It's straddling a line.
There was a point where, like, when I was playing
Are they
Robert,
bros or what?
But then
it's
sometimes
not even that.
sometimes it was really like, is it Bardo and Robert? Or is it just Morne and Rhea in the way that they are?
That's true.
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
But like, there was a moment when I was playing Robert where I came to that realization.
I mean, come on.
Have a leg to stand on.
That's why I'm allowed to say it. I'm not fighting the allegation. I see
just
you and you see me.
redirecting. Yeah.
I'm just...
We're aware.
Yes.
I'm gonna literally make a meme from that screenshot.
But there was a moment when I was playing Robert where I was like, oh, Robert's gay. Like, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all got that.
know.
We love that so
Yeah.
much.
No.
Oh, so great.
And then it was the one moment where William was like, you're all very queer for... And he was like, what's that?
What do you mean by that? What are you talking about?
I mean, I have to slip that in because that is how the word was used.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Yeah.
even like 50, 60 years ago, it was still being used like that.
Yeah.
And this group is very queer in
Yes.
both senses of the word.
Absolutely.
I just really enjoy the idea of like you be looking 14, but everybody thinks you're a couple. Because I mean, Luck does look younger than she
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
but she doesn't look 14.
Yeah, because Luke is like 22, but looks like 19 or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like 18, 19.
Yeah.
But no, so
But that's
is
still
always
weird if you think the other one is 14.
It's so funny funny. It's so funny that Robert, like, sincerely canon thought Sylvie was 14 until the
14?
final session.
And didn't he like buy you drink as well? Yeah.
Hey, you can do what the fuck you want. You're fighting people.
He's not going to question it.
I'm not going to stop you from having a drink. I've seen what you can do to people.
Yeah.
Should we start at the beginning of the
What?
9th
Oh my
episode?
god.
Oh my
what
god.
happened?
That was the Nooker fight. Wasn't it? Yeah, that was the 3-hour Nooker fight.
That was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was that was episode 9, yeah.
We started this one just after.
Yeah, that was the fight again.
Yeah. That started with you putting your head in the water, which
Yeah.
once again Robert fought against, and Robert was so close. Robert was so close to having everyone be like, "Actually, this is a bad idea." And then Sybil went,
Yeah.
"Well,
And
what
do you
about
know-
just your head?" And I
And
was
do
like,
you know what it was? Do you know what it was? It was Neil went, oh, but they're not going to do it now.
it was just like true.
Do it.
Oh god, it was like there was a moment where Robert was like, "Oh my god, they're actually finally learning their lesson and they're listening to me." Never fucking mind, Jesus Christ.
And then they did
There's
something
another one.
stupider,
Yeah.
which was just to stick their head in and try and talk.
Yeah.
We can go back and look at, see if there's any like hoard in the water now, though. I can turn into a fish.
Cool, and then you're gonna bring a gold piece at a time, yeah?
Well, no, but I can just see if there's anything in there.
Because you cannot change into an invertebrate, so you cannot change into an octopus and use your tentacles to carry up the horde.
No.
I'm just saying, because they're a mollusk without a spine.
What if
We could find
could-
a way.
you turn into a whale, swallow it?
Whales are marine animals and they would
That's a
not
pond.
fit. That's a
Like-
freshwater pond. It's only 30 meters in diameter. I don't mean to be that guy, but my day job, I am also a biology teacher, okay?
What's really strong but also in the water? What about like a crocodile?
I could say, but I can't because,
Yeah.
But you also could just like
Fine, say
see
it.
what
I
it
feel like
is.
dolphins are
and
really
then we
strong.
can like
I was going to
make-
say like a catfish or a pike.
Are they strong?
Pike are huge.
Yeah.
Pike take actual chunks out of people. Sorry, Mike.
I've seen pike.
Pike
before.
are huge.
There's a pike in my local canal.
Yeah.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah, because
Is
it
that
kills
why
all
you're
the
never
other
getting
fish. Like, yeah, pike you don't mess with. No.
Wow.
Yeah. If there's pike in the water, you don't swim in the water.
Nope.
All right, we'll move on now.
Yeah.
Oh god, we went mental because we had to kill a cow.
Yeah.
Sylvian like broke.
The first
for a
like
bit.
45 minutes of that
Chaos.
stream, because I was obviously watching the time as the GM was like, you
Nonsense.
guys deciding on whether or not to feed a cow to this nooker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, Robert wasn't having any of
Sylvia
it.
like broke. We were both like crying multiple times
Yeah,
about this
I was
cow.
so upset.
Yeah, it's,
I would just like to say for the viewers who don't know, pretty much, I think I'm the only carnivore at this table.
Yeah.
Like, so we have a bunch of vegetarian and vegan players, RPing characters, feeding an animal to a dragon, okay?
Like, yeah, that was
It was
half the
Robert being
Sylvie
like,
and love.
you're staying there and you're watching it.
it's like consequences of your actions.
Sylvie didn't watch it.
No, of course, because it was one of those things where it's like, I want you to be aware, or like, it didn't actually care if you watched it, but it's like, I want you to be aware your stupidity has consequences.
They thought they were doing a good thing.
By what?
They thought they were delaying the dragon from eating humans so they could then do something and stop it from eating humans, which we
Technically did. Technically,
yeah.
yeah.
We fed it for the day and
100%.
got rid of it that night.
100%. The thing is, you guys were then being like, oh, but we don't want to feed the cow, and it's like, you can't have both.
Yeah.
You can't have both.
Yeah, they did have to learn that, but
The amount of like the cycle that kept going in, I was feeling Robert's frustration as myself. I was like, oh my god, you see the fucking cow to the
we
fucking
found
dragon.
the oxen, but it was Bessie, and we couldn't take Bessie from the farmer.
I had to give it a name. It was like,
was so
yeah,
sad.
these vegans, they're having a hard enough time. How can I make it harder? I will give the animal a name.
And it's so funny because Robert was willing to take Bessie.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, look, this is going to be one of those situations when we're feeding it, we've decided we're going to feed it. Fuck it, Bessie's right here.
But like that whole most of that episode was so much chaos until we got to fighting the dragon.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure what happened next was Bardo pretended Robert was dead and cried in Thompson's
Yeah,
shop
that's true.
for so long.
Yeah.
Because it's one
That
of those
was
things where...
so
Because
good.
in Robert's head was like, well, this used to be out as a student. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still in contact.
Yeah.
I'm not risking it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very reasonable.
Yeah, it
Extremely
makes sense.
reasonable.
Mid grief-stricken crying hysteria, Bardo just goes, "I'm a very talented singer."
Well, no, because I was like, maybe the reason that Robert has like these goblin notes, I'm
No,
like,
100.
like I have to make them relate to me somehow, so it makes sense. So obviously the singing came up, like you can record singing. I was like, oh, I am a very talented singer.
I love
And, like,
Bardo's
and then the
Are you a
theatre
singer?
came up. Oh, I do theatre, and I was like, it's all going well. And also,
I love Bardo so much.
I was like, because what?
That was so
What
good.
did I rolled pretty high for
You're
that.
all pretty high, yeah. No,
But
you
I
got,
was like, I am going to put on the most obnoxious, pretentious fake crying ever.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the fun.
And it was so good. It was my favourite thing. It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh god, the whole roundabout thing. That like it was genuinely when you're like, oh, stop telling people about the hole.
Oh my god.
You know the hole in Hyde Park?
What hole?
They filled it with water.
Wait, who's they?
I don't know, somebody... when did they do it? Overnight. No, but it was... No, there's a dragon. There's a dragon. It flew in.
It doesn't matter.
No, but it was Robert being like, just say that it's filled with water. So they started doing that, and then it's like, how did it get filled with water? I don't know. Somebody did it. Who? I don't know. So actually, it made it longer.
Yeah, I couldn't resist.
It just because it was one of those situations where it's like, stop telling people, and then you guys would be like, why? People need to know. They don't. They truly don't. And if they really need to know, newspapers.
I also just enjoyed now there's a pond in the middle
Yeah.
of Hyde Park.
Yeah. There's a pond in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
Forever?
A really deep pond, 80
Huge
meters,
pond.
like incredibly deep.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, in fact. People could drown in that.
Probably will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, people can't swim.
Yeah.
What if we put a fence up around it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Drunk people will climb over it and die.
Yeah.
These two get
Bardo and
mushrooms would climb that fence.
I have a note in
Where are we
my
going?
Sylvia notes that
Where are
just
we
says,
going?
"Stop drugs in my bag."
I hope the police don't catch us.
I've also got like dead bodies in there. Like
Yes.
that actually works.
But it's funny you say that because we were discussing when you leveled up.
Yeah.
We were talking about 4th level spells, and one of the 4th level spells for which that witches can have is the Hand of Glory, which
Yes.
yet again
Oh my God.
from European folklore, and it was the mummified hand of a dead person, preferably a criminal. If it was a criminal, the magic was stronger, and you would put wax on the fingers to turn it into a candle.
Oh.
And the idea was that when you lit the candle, and if you broke into a house, you would cause all of the people in the house to fall into a deep slumber that they couldn't awaken from, and you could then rob the house.
Oh my god.
That was the original folklore. So there's some slight mechanical tweaks for the game,
Yeah.
but that's what that. But she has the dead, the hands of a dead
werewolf.
criminal.
But this is why Sylvie was like, "Well, I want them. They might be useful."
Yes, she
but they
actually
fucking are.
has that very specific, very macabre component in her goblin purse now.
I mean, you're gonna have to take some time cutting the hands off, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll just get
Trudy
through
has
it.
an axe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened next?
There was the talk with John Beckle's gang.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
And Bardo was in full like mob boss mode,
Yeah.
and yet also like saying nothing.
Can I ask why people kept on saying it was Robert's gang?
Because it was.
But it's not.
Oh,
It.
it was.
I feel like it is just because like
It's because
it's Robert's issue with the whole Aldous
Robert
thing.
was always the one being
Yeah.
very vocal when we were fighting
Robert's the
things.
one also who was always talking to Mr. Thatcher and asking him for information. Robert was the one who was always talking to people. So then when the gang's exploits were being talked about in the East End, it was like, well, Robert is always in the pub. That's why it became Robert's gang.
But like,
Okay. That's I like
but, like
Yeah.
Bardo wanted the credit for it because that's how Bardo is well
Yeah.
known for taking credit.
Yeah.
So
And Robert didn't want the credit.
No.
Robert genuinely.
yeah, so go on.
Which
and
is
give-
why they work well as a duo. But yeah, Beckle was actually very fair.
Yeah.
Like, everything he said was really valid
Like
and justified.
the whole idea I had behind him was that like he's not a good person.
No.
He's a criminal
Yeah.
who was doing this really dodgy, shady shit. Oh, let's sell this. It's not kind of counterfeit, like
Yeah.
this dodgy, broken stuff to rich people and make a shit ton of money because this goblin wants us to do it because he's an asshole and wants to just cause mischief. And then it was like, yeah, the heat's getting too much with this thing. We're just out.
Yeah.
It was very much criminal. It wasn't that he was like, oh, the poor old lady's falling down. It was like, no, there's too much heat on this. We're getting out.
Fall down the stairs.
And that was it.
Old people! It was really funny though, because the first time that we met him, we were all like, oh my god, he's so scary.
Yeah.
And literally
This time we
every
were like,
other
"Oh,
time
so
after that, I
chill."
was like, oh, I'm actually not scared of you.
Yeah, so
I think
chill.
after the werewolves,
Yeah.
We'd seen
The
bigger
Muslim
shit by
Mikado.
then.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I mean, he was started as a higher than you guys enemy level fighter. So in a fight, he would have caused trouble. But then
Yeah.
again, you're a powerful druid. So
I would have just turned him into a fish.
stupid druids.
And now I have my own goblin purse.
Yes, you do.
I
That's
can
cute.
drop anyone in there.
Luck really has taken a turn.
Oh,
Luck in
You
this
went
episode.
Yeah.
from being, I don't want to kill a fucking dragon, to, yeah, I'm going to put people in my purse, suffocate them.
and
Why
yeah.
not? What about it? You going to stop me?
Went from all my spells are healing spells to help people to I conjure a sphere of chaotic energy to blast my enemies.
That was good. That was really good.
Great, Robert couldn't be prouder.
I enjoyed that.
We'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
So there was the bonkers. No, that wasn't. That did get a bit bonkers. The chat with.
Yeah.
It did, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah, it did.
Whose fault was that?
I genuinely don't know.
I don't.
I have no idea. All of us.
Yeah,
The
it's-
fact that
Who,
this is this
who
group
was
of people.
told to keep quiet the entire time, and who did? Yeah, and who?
Sylvie was kept quiet the entire time.
Which
Sylvie,
two people did
Sylvie
not
actually
keep
just
quiet
was
the
like, no, do you
entire
know what? I
time?
actually have nothing to say that's clever. I'm actually not gonna.
But also, like, you didn't not make it bonkers.
No, yeah, you.
Yeah,
It's
no,
one of those
The
things.
reason we were chipping in is because what you were doing was insane.
No, that is true actually.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it
No,
was.
because, right,
but I know that it was
The
mental.
whole stance was supposed to be like what I thought at least was fair was okay, we'll leave each other alone and we'll both respect Sybil, which is
Yeah.
what Beckle was then offering. Perfect. Bardo just wouldn't let go of like, but we need to be one gang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we
that-
join,
I was like,
and we were all like, that's not what we discussed.
I don't want to be a gang with these
yeah,
people.
I don't quite get along with these people. It was one of those things where I understood what you're saying, but like Robert's mind was like, we should work together for this problem,
Yeah.
and that was, and then you were like, one gang was like, well, let's not go that far. Quite frankly.
Yeah.
I
just really like how much of like gang conflict resolution that was, and like they're a proper gang and we're just four fucking weirdos that have been hanging out for 3 days.
I also love that they can be like, I'm sure that there's jobs that are like too big for us or too big for you, and you need, and I'm really like,
If it's too big for you, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you might be higher level than us, but like, have you fought a dragon?
we're about to kill a dragon. Not
Yeah.
kill, but like we're about to defeat a dragon.
Have you fought an ancient goblin?
No,
Yeah.
you were that bitch.
What happened after that?
that was after that was you were told, I believe, the constables were going
Yeah.
to go fight the dragon with those rifles, and you went and fought the Nooker.
Yeah, and you got mad
fought
at
deep
us.
fight.
Well, I very much did get mad at you because you guys were like,
What
well,
else
I
is
don't
there?
want. Well, yeah, because it was like, all right, this dragon needs to get dealt with, and you guys were like, yeah, but like, it's the whole thing's like, oh, I don't want to pay tax, but I don't want to kill this dragon. Oh, I don't want to be under its thumb, and I don't want it in London killing people, but I don't want to fight this dragon. And it was like, once again, you can't have both.
Yeah.
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 So, and it was just like, and it was truly like a case of like, all right, what other ideas you have? And every other idea you had was just kind of like,
Take it to a mountain.
that's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
It won't it won't want to like. I know Robert doesn't know a lot about like magical stuff, but it was just.
No, but
kind of-
Robert has common sense.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
This is its new home that it's been invited to. Us going up to it and saying, "Can you leave?" No, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
We have to make it leave or kill it.
Why would I want to leave Hyde Park? Hyde Park's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because London's so smoggy.
it's got its water.
It's got a ample food supply.
Yeah,
smoke.
Well, it clearly didn't have an issue with it when it was moving there.
Dragon, leave for me.
I was the whole time. I was like, when you like, I think I agreed to that plan because I was like, there's a chance purely because I think in Robert's mind, luck is so
Deranged.
kind of like exhausting that maybe the way you go around trying to convince it will just be like fucking fine.
Like,
because
just to shut you up.
That's how everything has gone with our interactions. It's gone like. Robert's trying to make a plan, and then you come up with the batshit stupid plan. Robert's saying,
Hey! I turned all of those werewolves into sloths.
And it worked.
100%, and that was great. That's the rare case. But like, there's been so many times where we discussed like something, and you've said something deranged, and Robert's like, "What are you talking about?" And then everyone else is like agreeing with you. And it's just kind of like, "No, seriously, what are we talking about?" And everyone's like, "Well, we're doing this," and Robert's like, "Why are we doing this?" And then
It's
Robert,
fun.
I would change my mind and start agreeing with you just for fun.
If this
Yeah.
was a Muppets movie, Robert would be the only human.
Yeah.
what's going on?
He's Michael Caine.
Well, it's just.
That's the best way I can describe this party.
Oh god.
But yeah, that's why I agree with the plan because I was like, maybe, just maybe it'll work. And then when it very clearly didn't work, I was very ready to fight the dragon, and I was looking forward to it. I think we had a good like starting plan of having some in the trees with
Yeah.
us, even though they did fucking nothing.
I mean, the thing is, as I said, they had a +2. They're basically NPCs. You know, like they're low status NPCs. They've more grit points than Seth. But it's a +2 to attack.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
No.
You know.
Against a dragon.
I mean, the dragon doesn't have a high defense. His defense was 16,
Oh, 'cause
but
it's huge.
because it's so big,
Yeah.
and like the way defense is calculated in Fey Earth is a medium-sized creature is a base defense of 10 plus Dex and fighting. A small creature is base defense 12, and a tiny creature is 14. But then a large creature, its base defense is 8, and a huge creature, it's 6. So you know. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Now, it had the armor too. I think the Nooker's armor, because it was an adult, not an ancient Nooker, was 5/2. So, like, it was subtracting 2 from the spells and from your gun, and subtracting 5 from your cane and Sybil's axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was fine because we still did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Did.
I mean,
It was a really good combat for us.
The 4 critical and the 4 minor
You did
critical
great.
and
You-
the 1 major.
you
was
did
insane.
great in that fight. You
Robert
got so
was-
many nat 20s. It was
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
That was
Yeah,
so
I got
good.
2 nat 20s.
Yeah.
And then with the critical rolls, I think I rolled 2 9s.
Yeah, so you end up doing
Yeah.
4 critical injuries. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But like the thing with that creature was it had 2 attacks per turn, and it could attack with its tail, a bite, or a claw. The claw was the weakest attack, which was 1d8 plus 9. The claw was 1d10 plus 9, and the
Just
tail.
claw both times.
Sorry, the bite was 1d10 plus 9, and then the tail was 1d12 plus 9.
Ouch.
That was why it killed like
So many.
because the constables had 12 grit points each, and they got hit with a tail attack.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that was why I was like, yeah, that single 5 meter long tail that just hit those 8 constables, they're all dead.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
Yeah.
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 But we had 3 in the trees.
Yeah, you're treating the
did.
tree who are still
Nice.
missing.
Yeah. And then you say, I mean, this fight felt like everyone had very critical moments in the
Yeah,
fight. That
there was
helped
really
change
great.
it.
We
Like,
really felt like a team.
Yeah. It
I think.
really
Like,
did.
It
It was
solidified
great.
we were a team
Yeah.
for me.
and yet again, there was some really great when Morne remembered to cast Witch's Shield and saved you from being consumed.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because that is the Nooker has the consume feat.
Yeah.
Did I remember which
No.
shield
No,
it was?
you didn't.
I
No,
just
you were
shouted
yes.
at.
No,
that
but it's the amount of times for that one. Because it was like, it would be really great to not be eaten right now. Oh yeah, wouldn't that be really great? Yeah, that would be really useful. Maybe somebody could help with that. Yeah, it would be really great if somebody made him re-roll that.
Oh yeah, Witch's Shield.
Yeah.
Like it took so long.
Honestly, I was disappointed. And not because you would have been suffocating and taking, I think it was like 5d8 plus 4 acid damage each turn, because you're in its stomach. I was disappointed Not for that, but because I wanted to see how you were going to get out of its stomach.
I think that she would have turned into a bear.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And then
Tried to claw
claw. And then, as I said to you, if you turn into a bear instead of clawing at its stomach, you're taking acid damage.
Yeah.
But it's going to regurgitate you up,
Yeah.
and that's a very natural, non-Deus Ex Machina thing.
Yeah.
You've swallowed a bear, and it's literally trying to claw its way out.
Yeah.
I wanted that to happen.
Yeah.
That would have been
cool.
fun. That would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Instead, we just beat the shit out of the dragon.
We did.
That's a real shame.
Honestly, what really fucked it up was the critical injuries.
Yeah.
That was what
The fact
messed it
that
up.
it took so many
Yeah.
critical injuries.
I mean, it still had about, I think, like, it had taken a lot of damage as well. It had about 40 grip points, but, like, if it had gone all out against one of you, it might have dropped somebody, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely could have taken those constables out again. Easily.
yeah.
Easily,
Yeah.
you know? But, or like that, if I'd, you know, do 2 bite attacks. Oh, you witch your shield the first one. Okay, I'm going to bite you again and swallow you this time.
Yeah.
You know, I could have done more, but it was like, this creature in this one round just took 5 critical injuries, and one was a major critical
Yeah.
injury.
From you, yeah.
You know, I was like, no, he's gone. He is gone.
And there was that one round where you confused it as well.
Yeah.
That was really good,
really
actually.
good.
That made a big
Having
difference.
a dragon confused.
Losing an
That was so
entire turn of attacks.
That was, that did.
A creature like
I
that.
didn't have to heal
Well,
anyone.
that's
Yeah.
why when I saw Belcane, like, one, because I already had chosen a gentleman's cane as
Yeah.
part of the
That's very
character.
cool.
Yeah.
And 2, because I was like confused, it can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's
For
actually
an
such a
entire-
good
for an entire
item.
round. And obviously, like, I knew there would be 4 of us, but NPCs might be rolling as well. That's quite, like, depending on how many NPCs we have, that's quite a lot of damage.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
thing might be taken,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
multiple things, or whatever. So,
Yeah, it is a very cool item.
It's a fun magic item.
yeah.
And then Sybil got the axe with the dragon blood, which
Yeah, I love Sybil.
Yeah.
yeah, truly.
What's truly going to make it do?
Yeah, well, just can you tell us? Oh, you don't know.
I don't know, because it's a knucker and knuckers don't breathe fire, you see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was wondering if it was like the right kind of dragon to be able to use.
I mean, it's a dragon.
Yeah.
Still got that.
At a bare minimum,
dragon.
it would be a +1 axe. At a bare minimum, okay?
Great.
But I have to think, because the thing about knuckers, and what makes them distinct from other dragons from European folklore is, in most stories about dragons in European folklore, they nearly always have a poisonous breath. And the overwhelming majority of them have the ability to breathe fire.
Yeah.
You know? But knuckers from southern England, Surrey, they don't have either of those things. But what they're often, in the stories, is they're constantly like, they swallow a person whole or an ox whole. Like, that's their thing. So,
Does she get like extra strength while they're carrying it?
I don't know. I feel like,
Consuming damage.
yeah, something like that, or maybe some sort of a piercing attack that like cleaves through armor or something. You know, something like
be
that.
cool.
You know, because there are like armor or daggers and swords of piercing in the game. You know, so I'm thinking maybe something like an axe of piercing, so that it just completely ignores mundane armor. You could be in like full plate mail, and we just go, yeah, no, shoot.
Yeah, that would be.
That I'm thinking something like that.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. So, and that was episode 9.
Yeah. I was so happy we didn't have to kill it.
Yeah.
Like, I was so happy it just got fucked up enough that it was like, no, do you know what? Fuck this and fuck this friendship. Like, this, no.
And it was at the end of the episode you leveled up to level 10.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It was very cool.
You've got some very nice abilities. Everybody got some nice abilities,
I'm
you know?
sad that I didn't get to use
I just
my
got
other.
stronger.
You just got even more badass. I mean, you know.
No cool abilities, but I just got cooler.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I didn't get to use one of the abilities that I got, because I got to learn polymorph into an elemental.
Yeah. I thought you were going to do that.
I should have.
I mean, you did well in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did well in that fight.
I know, but like it would have been cool to turn into an earth elemental.
Yeah, but another
Next time.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we fucked around so much in the start of the last episode.
Oh, God. You guys fucked around. I was looking at the clock.
Sorry.
Welcome to Damsels.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
what
sorry
we
about
do.
that.
It's like our whole thing.
Yeah. But we do it for entertainment, and I'd say it was entertaining.
Yeah.
For sure entertaining. What happened?
I don't know.
You two got high.
You went to the pub, you got high.
Well, we also like discussed plans for the day. Like,
You discussed your plans for the day.
that was important.
You went to Trudy's. You had scrambled eggs and sausage.
Yeah.
Trinkets.
You did get the amulet.
So
yeah,
once again, that's important.
That was important because the witch's amulets. The thing about a witch's amulet, when they make the amulet, they can then give it to another person.
Yeah.
I love
You know, they can't then make another one for themselves. There's a fixed number of amulets a witch can make per level.
Oh, okay.
That's how that works.
Yeah,
So there's a-
otherwise I'd have like 20.
Yeah.
So they have a specific number of major and minor amulets that they can make based on their level, but they can share those amulets with other people.
Yeah.
You know?
It's cool.
I love that we all got my amulet of fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. It made its way
And
around
I
the
really
table.
like that I had a physical item that we
Yeah.
all got to have.
I was then really sad when we were getting more trinkets, when we were getting more amulets, that we didn't all have things to have.
I'm sorry, I did.
But you know, when you're just like, that would have been really cool.
I guess just when our characters come back, we just got to have these items.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's what I really enjoyed is that like so many of the things that
I'm not
Sylvie
sure
had, I had an equivalent to.
You can get a fake rabbit first.
Teddy bear.
Yeah, like a teddy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's plenty of like solutions.
Also, wait.
Oh, Morne made a really funny note at one point.
Right, this is jumping ahead, but there's a teddy bear that Robert shoots. Teddy bears don't exist yet.
I know. I am aware of that fact.
Okay,
I
alright.
know.
They don't exist anymore.
But the reason I said teddy bear is because it was creepy.
Okay, fair
That
enough,
was
yeah.
why. I am aware that teddy bears are it was
1901, 1902.
Oh, I thought it was actually a little bit later, but I knew it was early 20th century. Yeah. No, I am aware of that fact.
Yeah.
I'm not a historian, but I know a lot of history.
I think that has three things that I've written that don't exist yet. The term serial killer, which didn't exist till the
No.
Not even just cool or sick or dumb.
Yeah,
Or dumb doesn't
yeah.
does it? But like
teddy
People said
bears,
stuff like that.
and the term robot, which you said a couple of times, but it doesn't exist till 1927.
Yeah.
So
in my head, every time
was
you
that
said
originally a
robot,
Polish
you
word, I
said
think?
also-
it was Russian. It's
Slave.
Russian, okay,
it's,
sorry.
By, from Rossum's Universal Robots.
Yeah,
like,
thank you, sorry.
Later.
Yeah. I knew it was from one of the Slavic countries, yeah.
Yeah.
But so you talked, had breakfast with Trudy. Trudy gave you the amulets.
Trudy thinks you're my girlfriend, and you said you'd marry me.
Yeah, that was.
There was sorry, you two getting married, me wanting to marry Robert and Robert wanting to marry Gertrude.
Hey, it was really nice for like Robert to talk to like.
So he was really like, don't seduce my aunt.
There was no point. Okay, so actually I can say this now because this is over. Like, this is one of those things where like Robert is talking to someone who is either A, not part of the criminal lifestyle,
Yes.
B,
Sensible.
a sensible person, and C,
Isn't Luck or Sylvie?
okay, D, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Sorry.
They're like a nice. They're like a nice
Genuine person.
middle-aged woman.
Yeah, I mean there were more points to it, but you get it. Like
Yeah.
it's truly like this is a civilian innocent person.
Yeah.
Like they're an honest working. They
Yeah.
have an honest business.
Yeah.
It's truly like, oh, I'll be respectful to and it's also like someone I'm not threatening or being paid to
Yeah.
like keep an eye on or someone that I'm suspicious of. Like this is genuinely a hard-working woman.
Yeah.
So I'm genuinely going to try and be
And
nice.
that was so different to how you were with us. We were like, you want to marry her.
It's always the first thought, but
Funny.
No, because then it was like, oh, well, would you marry each other or something? Like, because the reason that I said that I'd marry you is because one of you tried to be like, that's like saying this. But, like, Luck was really just like, yeah, it would just be, we would just live in a house
It would
together.
be nice.
Yeah.
It's
Like, we're
really,
going to start a business.
it's really funny. It's just funny. It
What's a
makes me laugh.
girlfriend? You're my friend and you're a girl.
I loved that.
No, it's funny. People said girlfriend back then.
People said girlfriend back then. Totally said girlfriend back then.
But the
Yeah,
thing,
Talia Taya invented
Yeah,
it.
Taya actually did in 1820. In a different alternate universe.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes me giggle so much is that, like, for all me and you play, the characters we play in everything we
Yeah.
do, like, this was the one
These two
where they
actually
were
won.
genuinely platonic.
Yeah.
And had
Absolutely.
no idea what people meant or what they thought.
No.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
So after all that nonsense,
Well, then we spoke to the Baron.
yeah, we went to the Baron. We ruined his day. We, like, gave him a heart. He was scandalised. He was like, what is this?
Well, reward money first.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we got.
There was the reward money,
Reward
yeah.
money first. So when I was writing it down, that wasn't me in character because we discussed this, and I forgot to mention that should be your plan because Robert doesn't care about the money.
Yeah.
But it was never mentioned, so I was like,
Bardo wanted money.
yeah, like it was never mentioned, so I was like maybe. And then you guys were saying it, and I was like, and then it became a character thing of like once it get.
I mean, it's ended, so yes.
Yes.
So
I knew this.
the
Oh,
original
what?
plan that me and Rio spoke about was, you know how Becca paid 450 gold for the furnaces.
Yeah.
And we knew that meant that the lost ones had an extra 450
Yeah.
gold, and you had a missing sister.
Were you going to take my sister for ransom?
Yes.
I heard you say something about a ransom.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do something with us, like some sort of nonsense. I don't know
we were
what.
going to kidnap
No,
people
they're-
for ransom.
So
Oh, what the
So,
fuck, guys?
let me explain Robert's explanation for this. Bardo approached Robert with the plan. This was one of Bardo's plans.
So
Okay.
this happened. You know the night that Bardo slept on Robert's floor. This was conversation that happened that night.
Yeah. So this was one of Bardo's plans, and the reason why Robert was okay with it because it was like realistically Sybil will come along willingly. When Sybil comes along willingly, we leave a note saying we have one of your people,
Yeah.
and we would have had one of their people. So
We weren't
what?
going to hurt her.
Yeah, and we weren't taking her against her will,
No.
That's so funny.
and they had a lot of money that we needed.
Yeah.
Alright.
So what's? Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I see the
Solid
anger and I
plan,
explain
yeah.
that, and you're like,
That actually makes a lot of
That
sense.
is
Yeah.
funny.
yeah. But then it came to a point where like we had your sister, and then Bardo was like, "Are we doing the plan?" And I was like, "I just don't think it'll work."
Yeah.
Like right here, right now, I just don't see it. Like I don't see like them just accepting a ransom money because also it's a case of like. There was just
They're
a
a
point.
gang.
It's just a point where I was like, I just don't see it working right now. Maybe there's another way
Yeah.
of making money from them.
Yeah. But we got given reward money for being the
Yes.
heroes of Hyde Park.
Yes.
We got. Bardo
Yeah.
got what they wanted.
Yeah, Bardo got what they wanted. Bardo got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And then.
And we used it to buy you a present.
Do you know how much money I had after the whole spending spree of ammo and
Yes.
the gun? 9 copper.
What?
9 copper.
That's 3 whiskies.
That's 3 whiskies. And genuinely, because
I think that's one of the best purchases he's ever made.
Yeah.
it's
I've
the
got like 20 something gold.
I
I was in the 60s. That's why I was like.
yeah,
Because Bardo wasn't spending on anything.
That's why I was so insistent on paying for it myself.
Yeah, Bardo.
I knew I
It's
had the
because
money.
Bardo just like keeps their money.
Bardo wasn't buying anything. Like you were buying bullets, you know.
Yeah,
you were buying
nonsense.
mobiles and nonsense. That Bardo
I
wasn't
bought
spending
whiskey.
any money.
I bought whiskey.
3 copper a glass.
Yeah.
pork pies.
Yeah, that was it.
Like truly.
Wow.
Was I the only one who noticed that Bardo was not spending money?
How many times
Yeah.
can I say that I'm greedy? Like physically.
I didn't think you were at 60.
I was at 68.
I thought you were about 40, but I knew you had
That's
more than they did.
mental.
Yeah.
I thought that like once because I managed to get to I think 38. No,
But yeah, the highest I was something.
I think
like
I had
that.
48, and then I gave like after we'd been
Yeah.
given 40 gold, and then I gave 10, so I was at 38.
Yeah. That's why I was so insistent on paying for it myself, because it was something that I was actually willing to buy for my friend.
Wow.
And you guys were like, no, I'll pay for it. And I'm like, no, I want to pay for it.
But why didn't you just tell us that you had loads more money than us?
Because Bardo's still Bardo.
Why would I do
You
that?
can't know how much money Bardo has.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm still going to pay you back. 9 copper.
No, you're not.
You had a nice talk with Sarah.
It was one of those,
that was
situations. I don't know exactly what, like, I was going because it was one of the things where it's like, I don't want to go talk to the Baron, because,
I turned you into a peregrine.
yeah, that was awful.
Oh yeah, and you had to wait as a peregrine.
Would you rather wait as a peregrine for 9 minutes, fall to your death from the sky because I did it too early?
Oh, 100%, like, way as a Parian, but, like, Robert hated it. There was a moment where, as Robert, I was like, maybe if I just run into a wall really hard.
Yeah, that would have done it.
That possibly.
Possibly, yeah, but it was just like, I don't know how...
If you dive bombed
You definitely would have changed back into a human.
well...
and then taken
Imagine
loads
just
more
like
damage.
a civilian just walking by, so just and then all of a sudden Robert and Elizabeth popped up
walking into the pub.
and then just strides into the pub like nothing happened.
Yeah, so it was one of those situations where, because I was like, I'm not fully, because I had a total of 60 golds. I had a total of 60 gold.
I should have figured out that you had loads of money when you handed over 60 gold.
Yeah, I had, yeah. And the thing is, I would have had
I'm
way more.
stupid.
I would have had way more if I didn't buy, like, if I didn't buy any bullets, I think I would have had a total of about 70, about 72.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Whoa.
But I had 60.
Yeah.
Because I needed bullets. When you guys went to the shop, I should have specified I wanted some true shot, because sure shot is a +1, and I already had like 48 of those.
Oh,
You didn't tell us that.
No, 100%.
We just
100%.
knew you
No,
liked
I was
both
just,
of
I
them.
was just kind of hoping you guys would just get the better one.
else you wanted because
I thought that-
you bit your
Yeah,
pencil.
or was
No,
it
it was
just
just the fact, like,
that?
I don't want the short
Yeah.
shots.
Oh, okay,
It's like,
alright.
just buy
I
the
thought-
better bullets.
All right, okay.
I didn't remember what they did. I thought they did different things.
The short shot is a +1, the true shot is a +2.
Right. I didn't, but like I thought they did different
Same,
things.
same.
I thought we were getting you like
Do you
different.
know? Do you know who you could have asked to just be sure? The guy selling the bullets.
Oh yeah.
I also
Yeah,
really
like, you
enjoyed
went to
that
the
we
bullet
did this
shop.
whole
Yeah.
like fucking farce the day before about how Robert is dead and we're all grieving.
Yeah.
And then we brought back up like, alright, he likes the true shot and the short shot and he does this and oh
I
he'll
just
love
like
Is
the
it his
idea.
birthday?
I just like that Lloyd just like, is it for the same? What? Different guy? What?
So funny.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
connecting something.
It's
You
just
ain't
another.
connecting
It's
shit.
just another question of like you guys starting to like actually like do something and then getting distracted by a left turn. Like, oh, is it his birthday? Well, let's give you some money. And like, I could feel myself in the pub, like as Robert going, they're wasting time. They're wasting. I don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing, but they're wasting time. But the chat with Sarah was nice.
That was cute.
Because it was just one of those things. Because it was genuinely like someone who gets it.
Yeah.
Like it was. Because you know, Robert has Bardo.
Who doesn't get it?
Who doesn't get it like in the like you get it in a different way. Like you understand like we need money for things.
Yeah.
But like you like to agree with them to piss me off. And like yeah, exactly. And it makes no sense because it doesn't help us.
I mean, Bardo lives for the entertainment.
Yeah.
If they can get a laugh out of something, they will.
Bardo's a goblin.
Yeah.
Bardo's a rogue.
Bardo's a goblin.
Wait. Bardo's a Klabutum. Did I pronounce that right in that episode? Klabutamon.
Pretty. I think so. I don't speak
Okay,
German.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You're a goblin.
Goblin-esque.
Goblin
anyway.
core.
You slimy little
You
man.
slimy little
But yeah, I
man.
got along great with Sarah. It was just nice to talk to her. And it was one of those situations where I was like, oh, guns, any like sort of advice, anything to help me with this gun. And it was just a case of like, spend the money. And it was like,
Yeah.
fuck, I was hoping that wasn't the advice, but okay.
Yeah.
I was just hoping it was like, maybe you have like someone who like you have close to your game.
Like
the
maybe
only
you
person-
have a mate who's an
Yeah, like,
artificer
you know,
who does
exactly
it,
something like that.
and
No,
like
it's
they
just-
make it well enough, but like because you're a mate, they'll give it cheaper.
Yeah, no, but it was just like it was just like spend the money, and it was like fuck, fine, all right, I guess. Yeah, I'll spend all 9 copper on buying more. But yeah.
But how long is it going to take you to go through 100?
I mean,
bullets?
in that fight with Aldous, I only shot 8 bullets.
Yeah.
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 Whoa.
Like you've been tallying it, you could probably work out how many bullets you shot over the whole.
the whole
Yeah.
campaign.
100%. Oh, I'll do it right now.
We'll
keep
talk
talking
about
about-
something
yeah,
else.
talk about
What
the-
happened next?
You went to talk to the.
You talked to the Baron at the same time that was happening.
That was just bonkers.
That was nonsense.
I don't know why did. I don't know.
I had no.
Like, it wasn't, I mean, nothing was Sponge's idea, but it wasn't my idea to go to the Baron.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just because I know whose idea it was.
Oh, whose idea was it? Was it?
Maybe I'll go talk to my Baron friend to see what he knows about the goblin. Like, maybe he's there, or maybe he can get the room empty so we can, that kind of stuff. It was your idea.
Yeah.
To get the room.
25
I don't know.
bullets?
Yeah, to fight
Oh
him
yeah,
at-
that was
25 bullets?
that was if we were fighting him at Winton's, which we then decided we weren't.
Yes.
That's 25 on that.
Yeah.
That one.
32, 38, 42.
So about 42 bullets that I've had to buy and
Wow.
Not, yeah, that's not including the arcane
That's not including-
revolver.
Yeah.
shoot. So over the course of about 5 days, I shot that many bullets.
So how much did you spend on bullets then?
How much did I spend on
What?
FaceTime.
Well, that's FaceTime because it was talking about all the
But the
devices that was made
audio-
and the thing. I was just like,
yeah.
how can I remember this? FaceTime.
So are you spending 60 gold on a stone every 3 days? Because that doesn't sound very.
No, Christ no, because it has 100 shots. I'll
Yeah.
be spending it on like every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Much less now we're not fighting out, but like,
Yeah.
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 Like, you did a lot of fighting in 3 days.
We,
Yeah.
yeah, we
We
had
don't
a
usually
mental
fight that
in
much.
3 days, we were attacked by like a whole swarm, and
Yeah.
we fought a dragon and a goblin
werewolves.
And werewolves. So, like,
Like,
You shot a teddy bear and you shot a pigeon.
we had
So-
we had a week.
Yeah.
yeah.
4 days.
Yeah, that's fine though.
But then after the Baron, I think it was at that point you went to face Aldous, wasn't it?
Yeah. And Robert had his plan, and that was fair.
That was a good, solid plan,
Yeah.
Yeah, I that was a good plan.
Yeah.
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 I'm glad that the floor didn't attack us.
No.
So
Yeah, tell us about
Was
that.
it
Yeah.
supposed to?
how the floor worked was I'd mark because I'd drawn a map of the space of the house, the workshop, okay, and I had 20 individual markers on the workshop, and it was basically if you're on it or either side of it, and they were numbered 1 to 20. I was just rolling a d20,
Wow.
so it was completely random.
That's very
It
cool.
was completely random. I was rolling a d20 every I don't know, round or two.
I like that.
And it was okay, so this one's active, now this one's active.
Yeah.
That's why it was suddenly randomly going off, and other times it wasn't. It was because I was just rolling this d20 and it was moving around.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
Very
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a tricky fucking goblin, you
Yeah.
know? It's like, yeah, this is the shit he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm not stealing that for a home game at all.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I think it was generally good. I think it was because we hadn't paired up in the ways that we paired up
Yeah.
before. Because it's always been us two and you two.
That's true. We had to. Yeah, we mixed.
I would also like to say the chances of you actually killing Aldous was extremely remote.
Oh yeah. I never thought we were gonna kill him.
He has the ability to dispel any spell up to 5th level
Wow.
as a minor action. He could turn invisible as a minor action. He had Greater Blink as a minor action. That was when he was bouncing around.
Yeah.
He had Madness.
That was a
Didn't
really
roll-
cool.
but I was like, I did do it on you because like, no, you have
That
the
was
stone.
very
This is an
cool.
iconic
Yeah,
moment. I'm
yeah.
wasting a major action. I don't care. This
But
is
also,
brilliant.
like, Aldous wouldn't have known.
But he wouldn't have known, and
Yeah.
also, it would have made sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. That's
Robert
what I
is the
mean,
most
that's
dangerous
why-
person.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
why Robert had the stone, because for anyone who didn't know that he had the stone, he's the one to go
Yeah,
for.
only
He's
thing-
doing 50 damage a round.
The only thing I didn't get to do was cast his. Now it's only once per day. There's a Fey curse, where you permanently suffer a -5 penalty to every ability check,
Jesus.
Forever.
unless you find somebody
Okay.
who's a powerful spellcaster who can cast remove curse or another powerful spell like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think Trudy was
No.
powerful.
But Trudy can at least know anyone.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but like so, yous were going. I was confident that yous were going to hurt him enough to make him flee, but the chances of actually killing
Yeah.
him, because as I said, he could just turn invisible
Yeah.
and then just run.
I never thought
You
we
know?
would kill him.
And that is what happened. He blinked to the door, and then turned invisible and ran out.
Yeah.
You know, which for a player might be frustrating. For a murder hobo player, might be frustrating.
Actually, not a murder hobo player.
Not this time. No, you're
Luck's a
not.
pacifist.
Yeah.
You wanted to kill
Was a
him.
pacifist. Now is
You're
going
mad we didn't
and
kill
is
him.
now going down the dark side and becoming
Yeah.
full blown Sith.
Well, I once again, I have to say, this isn't murder. This is putting down an evil man.
Yeah.
In Luck's mind, him getting away means that loads of people are now going to die.
Yes.
Now you get the whole dragon thing.
Yeah.
In his defense, he wasn't trying to kill anybody.
But people
Doesn't
were
matter.
dying.
People will die.
He was okay with people being hurt and badly injured.
Yeah.
He brought a dragon.
They brought a dragon. That's
Into Hyde
stupidity.
Park.
That's stupidity. It doesn't
It's
matter.
people are going to die.
He-
Oh, now we're playing defend. Now you're defending a character. Now it's on to you. No, bring
He
your
Now
literally
you're
dragon.
made
really
things
on
that you
to
put
us around
into
the
the
too
wall that would stop working at the most inconvenient time. People will plummet to their death.
Yeah.
You
All
just.
Oh,
damage
that
in
one-
Fey Earth
Okay.
is terrifying.
I will
Fall
say
down
this.
the stairs.
I will.
Oh,
Okay.
kill people.
No, the spider pitons that would have been, but the people who use that are mostly criminals. So he didn't care if they died.
Yeah.
Like they're used by criminals like climbing walls and breaking.
Oh, a
in.
rich person gets to make a choice over other people's lives. He's an
Yeah.
evil bastard, and he doesn't care for human
But
life.
it's-
Capitalism is always the ultimate
It
BBG
is.
of every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing a historical setting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as for the Nurka, he was like, he'll come, he might eat a few
It'll
people,
cause absolute havoc.
it'll be funny, someone will drive him off.
Did the dragon end up eating any people?
Yeah, he
apart
ate
from the
one.
one guard.
The one constable was the only,
Yeah.
because you fed him the cow earlier that day,
And then the
and
goat.
then the goat,
Yeah.
he had, because he'd been fed the cow that morning, he didn't go hunting.
Yeah.
So the only human that he actually ate was the constable.
Oh, nonsense quest to kill the cow wasn't for nothing.
I'm just saying, I still think sticking your head in the water was dumb.
I mean, that was.
That
yeah.
I mean, objectively stupid.
That was
Yeah.
stupid.
But like,
Well, it became a thing of like, once again, to go back onto that, Robert was saying, you have to go feed it to the, like, you have to do it now. You
Yeah.
have to commit. You either don't do it or you commit.
Yeah. Which we did.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Which is, you know,
Yeah.
I guess, like, yeah, good. It was good it happened.
But yeah. Robert's like confrontation with Aldous was so
That was
good.
so
Like
good.
your whole conversation with him was so good.
I loved it.
I was so upset.
I was enthralled.
I was really like, I know that you're just the distraction, but I want more of
No,
you.
literally.
How was it being the distraction?
It was just one of those things where, like, Robert went into it saying he knows, he knows Aldous enjoys fucking with Robert for whatever reason. Why did he send a hit after Robert? Was it just because he was getting in the way?
Is because you guys were figuring out what was going on.
Cool. Well,
And the reason he stole something from you was because you threatened to kill him.
Yeah.
If you hadn't, he would have stolen it. It would have been random who he stole it from.
Yeah.
But because you had literally said, I'll kill you,
yeah.
okay, you're the person I'm taking something
Yeah.
from that the werewolves can
Yeah.
track the scent of.
Cool.
How did he get it? When did he get it?
Blink.
It was just in
He's
the
a
pocket.
goblin.
He just
He's a
took it.
goblin.
Yeah.
He can like pick pockets without you even
Yeah.
realizing. I didn't even roll for that because like, no, he's a goblin. He can just
Yeah,
pick.
he can do that.
It was just one of those conversations where Robert's like, it doesn't matter what you say or do because it's once again, you know that I know and I know that you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You don't. No matter what you say, we're both on the same page here. You lying is pointless. So I'm just going to say shit at
He
you.
never technically lied.
I never gave him the opportunity
he
to.
doesn't.
He'd never. He could have if he'd wanted to. He's
Yeah.
not like because some of the Fae in folklore never lie, but others are lying pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And goblins often are lying pieces of shit in folklore. But he never actually had to lie,
That's
Yeah.
very
which
cool.
was so fun,
Yeah.
you know. And you know, as Robert was getting more irate, he was just
Yeah.
having more fun because
Yeah.
this was what he was doing. He was doing this to piss people
Yeah.
off because he was an asshole.
And that's why he was fully willing to be the distraction.
Yeah.
Because he was like he's well aware of how easily he can get like irate. Like he's aware like
It's
Yeah.
not hard.
it's not hard. It's just like someone can say the wrong like sentence and it's like what the fuck are you talking about? Like
Yeah,
it's not
time to
difficult.
bite my stick.
It's like it's even a case of like you didn't even say anything. He was talking at him and getting angry.
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
that's what-
I watched him work himself up.
Yeah.
He called his biting stick his luck thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
cute.
cute.
Yeah, I mean, it is his luck thing. Luck gave it to him.
You know, I said
I know.
it and I knew you were going to say that, and I was like, I should have phrased that differently.
But no, it was. I mean, yeah, it's like because that one hasn't broken.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
and like he has, you know,
I feel like he's broken through a lot of things.
he's broken through a lot
Yeah.
of like other sticks he's found and stuff. You know.
What's the hardest wood that I could have made? I could have made out of stone, but that would break your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oak, cedar.
Oak is quite strong.
Oak is quite strong.
Yeah.
You can make it oak. Yeah.
That would have been good.
Good. I'll find an oak chewing stick, I guess.
Like a dog.
But yeah, no, it was good having you there as well because it was like I didn't explain this
Something's
before the
always
plan.
good on a distraction.
Oh, 100%. It is like I wanted to have someone there who would irritate me as well. Not to the level of luck, but it's because it was like it was good to have you there.
That's good.
'Cause
I
luck is
thought
the-
we were on the same level.
No, you're obviously worse for Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
That's been the whole thing.
it's because you asked too many questions that are dumb. Like you asked why, how, why. Like remember that one time I can't remember what session it was where it was like, oh, if I'm a werewolf, kill me, and you were like, why? And I was like, respect my wishes.
Yeah.
Like stop
That
asking
was so
questions.
good.
That was great.
And there was the one about like, why does the government want tax? Because they're in power. But why? Because they're in power. How? Because they're in power.
How are they in power?
Because they are in
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing is like Luck and Sylvie are both annoying personalities. But I think that like for that, like at least Sylvie is from their world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Sylvie is from London, like understands how London crime world works.
Yeah.
Whereas Luck is like such a complete like fish out of water. You know that they're just like, what the fuck are you?
I'm a fish out of water.
It was because you can't swim.
What won't be? That's why you lost the race.
It was so good. But we.
Sorry, I just want to talk about your side of the plan real quick. Before,
Yeah.
when the,
yeah.
I can't explain to you, as Rio, watching you run through the room, get attacked by the thing, and then because you were like, instead of saying I looked, because you were leading it, so it's like instead of looking for him, you ran through the room, got attacked, stayed quiet, and then when you went to go back across the room, instead of doing any checks or anything, you
While
just
I
ran.
was saying, we check for traps, right? Check for traps.
Once
Right.
again, you went, I run through it back and forth, and you got zapped again, and I was sitting there like, that's insane!
And when I did it the third time, I somersaulted.
Yeah, somersaulted, and I was like, that, like, knowing what it does, that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
For no reason. It didn't.
Oh, they just did that.
I just wanted to use my gymnastics skill.
All I could hear was the Albert Einstein quote of, like insanity is doing the same thing over and
But
over again, and
expecting
different
different
results.
results.
Like,
No,
that
but
was
then it was going back to try and deliberately set it off to get the distraction when it being set up before hadn't set up the distraction.
yeah, exactly. That,
And,
that was insane.
Pulled them over.
It's like, oh, I'm going to try and set one off to bring them over here, and I remember being like, you set it off twice and they didn't go over there.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I was going to before like we decided to hide. I was just gonna trash the room, like and make as much noise as possible.
Once you'd heard the gunshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Did us shouting? Did he not hear us shouting then?
Well, I mean, that was all pretty much at the same time. That stuff happening, you know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, did the fight? I think the fight went really well.
You starting the fight was so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
But just like I shoot
That's
him.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I shoot him.
Robert is so. I
It was
love
like because we
Robert.
got into the room and was like, well, this is the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those cases. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh, we're
Okay.
not alone.
Yeah.
Bang.
Oh, we're not alone. Damn, that's crazy.
That was so
Oh my
good.
God.
But look, we did save London.
We did.
Yeah.
We did save London for now until the
We
next
did. Well,
magical
we
thing.
saved London from one goblin causing chaos. We
Yeah.
didn't like save like London is still
Okay,
a
well, we saved.
capitalist hellscape.
No, oh, wow, Christ, that's gonna take another campaign.
But he did flee.
He did flee.
You
Yeah.
got down to 6.
I got down to 6.
Multiple
There was,
times.
yeah, truly.
I
That
love
was
the image
stressful.
of Bardo just like forcing like your mouth
What are you
open like
doing?
that.
Yeah, the arcane bolt spell, that was 76.
Yeah, that
That is rough.
It's so funny. how,
And then
like,
he was casting Chaotic Bolt as a minor action for 5d4 plus 7.
Wow.
So like, if I wasn't being careful and defensive and saving minors for things like Greater Blink and Dispel Magic in case you threw some crazy shit at me, I would have been doing 24 plus 19 times 3. About 80 points of damage in a turn.
Whoa.
How many grit points did you have in total?
Maximum 93.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that,
it's one of those situations where I was like, what's your max grit points?
it's like 79 or
No,
something,
it
wasn't
went up to 90.
Oh,
It
okay,
was,
good.
I think
Why
it's
are you
91.
always the lowest?
It's one of
I'm
those,
always the lowest, no matter what campaign I'm doing.
you roll bad.
You do roll bad.
You do roll bad.
You roll awfully.
Like I roll
So
funny,
much of the time.
you roll
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, especially when it comes to the amount of hit points or grit points. you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Like you always roll
Yeah.
Because
bad.
as a rogue, you're rolling a d8. Like, it's not bad, you know?
No. Because I mean, like, even the fact that, like, you're doing 40 odd amount of damage, 6. That's the most. In that goblin battle, I did 6.
But it truly is like you two have more grit points.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
had 160.
However,
I had 180.
every battle, it's us two.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Any
Yeah.
hits.
I'm always at full hit points.
Literally.
It's
Because
Well,
you
that's
guys
what
are
it-
at range
Yeah.
chucking your spells.
Yeah.
I'm at range, but well, I
Yeah, but you always piss people off so much that you're the target.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
You're
happens.
always
Yeah.
the target.
and Robert doesn't care. 'Cause
Yeah.
once again, he survived another day he thought he might not survive.
Yeah.
So, once again, his thought of being invincible
Yeah.
continues on.
Yeah.
So Robert needs to get humbled, is what you're saying.
Oh my god, guys.
Oh, Christ, no.
Can you leave
Absolutely
Talia at
different,
home
because-
for 1 minute?
Oh, yeah, let me look at the list of how many people Robert murdered. Oh, yeah, 0. 0 of murders.
Wow.
How many's on Tolly's list?
Robert's never in his whole life killed a man.
I never said that. Robert in his whole life's never murdered.
Murdered.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't know, didn't he shoot some of those people who only had bows and arrows?
They were still shooting at him with bows and arrows.
It was complicated.
It's
He
complicated.
was in a war.
And also,
Okay.
like, in
Yeah.
all fairness, he did punch his, like, he did attack his,
That
like,
is fair.
colonel.
He
Yeah.
was dishonorably discharged for saying, hey, let's not shoot the guy with the bows and arrows and
Yeah.
punching the guy in the
Yeah.
face. So there was that.
There is that aspect to it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We have some details that we might find out.
Yeah. This is what I was
Yeah,
waiting
yeah,
for us
sorry,
to
it
get
was
through.
just-
Yeah.
Apparently we derailed plans very early.
On
obviously.
in the first episode.
Session 1.
What did it?
So the plan was that, you know, you would be hired, Byrne fed and asked you help out his
Yeah.
friend, and then you would then get a bunch of other jobs because Frederick Clipper had been doing this to multiple industrialists who were all in Wintons, who had all been bought dodgy shit. So you were then going to be asked to go to a mill that had gotten a water elemental that started randomly attacking people. And then another man who had bought a safe, but when he had it fitted, and then the Muscamacada came out and he ran out and now his office was full of them. And then there was going to be a foundry where they'd bought some pumps and they just stopped working because the guy stopped paying the money, and he at that point was going to be hiring you to track them. So the idea would have been that as you're doing this, you're getting more and more information about the gang until you're finally asked, track this gang down.
Right.
At which point you then would have found the gang and found Sybil.
Instead we became a gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did we do in the first episode?
Yeah, what
What happened-
was it that
Yeah.
derailed it?
It was like after you talked to the labourer and he was like, oh, and there was one person who was really tall.
yeah.
And then he was like, just immediately, what you did was you, okay, let's go back to Becker's house. Yeah, do you remember that? You went back to the brass mill owner's house and threatened him in his living room.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I mean, that's the thing, because the thing is, like, you were, like...
That was us.
It was truly a
No,
situation...
that was the group.
It was,
That was the
the
entire
group.
group.
It was the situation of, like, we as a group were like, oh, this person very obviously bought faulty equipment that put people in danger. Fuck that guy! Sorry, we're not getting hyped. Fuck that guy!
We're not doing jobs for the
No,
capitalists.
Christ, no!
Yeah.
We're taking this down on our own.
So that was the plan, and then you know, because you're back and forth to the Gentleman's Club, you would have had more instances to see Aldous and meet him because he's a member of the club. And then if you had decided to, when you had tried to track down the gang, then it would have been, you would have seen a shipment being dropped off to the gang. And then if you followed the labourers were 2 employees of Aldous, it would have led you back to his artificer shop. So that would have given you your link.
Instead we just went to a shop and we were like, well fuck it, let's check out the office.
Yeah. So
Well, that's suspicious!
Yeah.
Musca
in fairness, there were lucky rolls on things like when you broke into the offices. Like that, there was the lucky rolls as well, you know? But yeah, it was literally in the first session where you're like, let's go kick down the door to Brass Mill's owner and interrogate him in his living room.
No, we've finally knocked and said, hey, we have a meeting.
Demons and Daughters, we don't actually have a battle against doors in this game.
We knocked on the door and then we were like, we have a meeting. And she was like, alright.
I can't stop thinking about those biscuits. Oh yeah. I've not stopped thinking about them once.
Yeah.
So not cool.
Yeah.
Because even like, depending on how we would have done for time wise, I mean, we had 10 episodes. If we'd had a bit, if it had fit in, now it wasn't going to fit in with the way things had gone.
Yeah.
If it had fit in with my original plan, there was going to be a mountain giant appears in the city after you fought Deep Fang, that's looking for its magic harp that was stolen, and then he's going through the East End looking for it, and then when you would have seen this mountain giant who's like cloaked by shadows, which mountain giants can't do.
Right.
So if there was any doubt, when like mountain giants can't do that, something else is doing that.
So
what do we know that?
unless we roll that ones, in which case you'd just be like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping you wouldn't roll that ones for fail, or you'd be like, well, what other creatures can control shadows? Goblins can control shadows, and we know a goblin. So that was another plot point I had as a link.
The plot point would have been like, Robert would have been like, oh, it must be this goblin. And they're like, well, you can't assume all goblins. It's like, it's the only goblin we know!
Not all goblins.
Yeah.
We really derailed that so quickly. Because like, I knew that we were going to derail whatever you planned at some point. But I thought it would be somewhere in the middle.
No, first session. The very first session.
Is that
Did
what
anybody
you expect
notice?
from us?
I didn't know what to expect. Did you notice that I was completely like...
There was a moment where we showed up and I was like, oh, that's not what you thought we would do. But I didn't think we'd like derailed everything.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that it was unexpected. But that's as far as I got.
Yeah, so
the Wolf of Whitechapel.
that was part of the plan. That
Okay.
if you guys do go to Aldous' shop and start asking questions and causing trouble, he sends them after them. And so that was part of the plan.
Right.
And that did happen.
Yeah.
Robert literally went, I'm going to kill you, you little fucker, you know? So it's like...
And I still hold that promise. I still hold that promise.
Yeah, and that fight, like, stupid druid. That...
You built the class!
But like that, like, as like, that was gonna be,
so good.
that was gonna be a tough fight. Like, that was designed to be, shit, we might die.
I mean, we all thought Robert was going to die.
Yeah.
We
Robert
all
thought
genuinely believed,
Yeah,
like
Robert
as characters and players, I think.
So
that Robert
just
was
to
gonna
be
die.
aware as well of the fact that the way the werewolf is started in Fey Earth, they have a cursing feat. So in the whole, you get turned into a werewolf by a bite, it's a curse that they choose as part of their attack
So they wouldn't
action.
have done it. They wouldn't have done
So
it.
they're like, no, we're killing you
Yeah.
fuckers. So
Okay.
that's why you didn't get cursed from the
Cool.
bite. It was like,
That's
no,
cool.
they can choose to inflict the curse or not.
Cool.
That's not from the folklore. That's just a mechanical thing that I brought into the game. Because it's fun because as a GM it gives you the options that if your players don't know that and they're fighting a werewolf and then they're like, shit, when's the next full moon? I got bit, you know?
Yeah.
But
That would have been fucking wild.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
we turned into
I
werewolves.
like the idea that we like agree to like, oh, we'll shoot each other. But like,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, one of us would have to shoot the other and then be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think because again, it's one of those where like, because we're characters and we have a set number of grit points. Because we've spoken about this like in general actual play things of like, in the real world, if you sneak in and slit somebody's throat,
they die.
they die.
Yeah.
in actual plays in TTRPGs, if you go in and you slit somebody's throat,
They take damage.
they wake up and they take damage, and now you're fighting them.
Yeah.
So like, you guys would have had to just
Bang.
fuck. Just can you?
I mean, I'm sure if I just
It's
were
like Anne Boleyn being like hit with the sword like however many times. Oh.
Yeah, it's something that
sorry.
pisses me off when
Really
people
sorry.
talk about guns in TTRPGs. Like, oh, it's unrealistic because a gun is so lethal, like it'll kill you with one shot. I'm like, do you know what else will kill you with one shot? A sword.
Yeah.
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 Any part of your body that will die from one bullet
Yeah.
will die from one sword cut or
Yeah.
one thrust from a sword.
Yeah.
It's the body, not the weapon.
Yeah. And I'm saying this as somebody with 20 years of fencing experience
Yeah.
who is a actual fencing instructor, you know? It's like, yeah, but it is like,
Yeah, I mean, it's very much. I'm sure if I described in detail me putting like a gun in my mouth with a silver bullet, maybe you'd have just.
oh,
let it
yeah,
happen.
you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're dead.
It wouldn't be a
Okay?
case of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just one of those like funny things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you can always, describe the flavour in the game and stuff. You just.
I just think that you guys wouldn't have done it though.
Yeah.
I think if Robert found out he was turning into a werewolf, I think he would have probably not, he would have either tried to find a cure, and if he couldn't find a cure, he probably would, because
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't like magic
No,
and stuff.
I know, but I think all of us would have fought so hard to find a cure that we would have somehow found
Yeah.
something.
I feel like Bardo would have said, okay, we'll kill each other, I'll do you first.
Yeah.
And then shot Robert.
Yeah. No, because Bardo. I mean, you rolled insight. Bardo cares about
Yeah,
Robert.
Bardo cares more about Robert than Robert cares about Bardo.
Yeah.
Outwardly.
Interesting.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought.
I don't know how true it is, but definitely outward. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
not.
Definitely
It's
outwardly.
definitely,
Definitely
and it's in
outwardly.
a different way, I think.
Yeah,
I
sometimes
don't
it feels like you're a lost dog. Like there
Yeah.
are times.
Yeah, I
Like,
fully
I
know
feel
about,
like Bardo
literally.
needs Robert more than Robert needs Bardo.
I actually feel like it's the other way around.
I agree
Really?
with that.
I fully
That's what I
Robert
see.
will deny it. Robert will stand, but before Robert met
Yeah.
Bardo, Robert
That's
was
true.
in a gutter
Yeah.
drinking
That's a
and
good
just
point,
had
actually.
it was just like day by day sort of situation.
Because that's how we met.
Yeah.
We decided how we met. That I found Robert in the gutter and
Yeah.
just prodded him.
just
with
kind of
a
probably
kick.
with the game and was just kind of like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? And I'm dying, and it's just like, oh, do you want to not do that? Do you want a job?
No, that makes sense,
That's
actually.
good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I love them.
very interesting characters.
I love this
I
party.
do. I really enjoyed this
We
party.
made a deranged party.
We did.
Yes.
It's one of those situations where it's like they really don't always get along all of the time. Most of the time. Most of the time Robert doesn't get along with the party.
But he never leaves them.
But he's such a core part of it.
He's so important.
It's also a situation
I
of
love
if Robert
Robert.
tried to leave, he would just hear one of your voices in the distance and just kind of be like, how did they find me?
Hello.
Do you know what I loved as well? Speaking of getting annoyed by people, it's Locke spent 8 years looking for her sister.
Mhm.
Found her and then was like, "You're so annoying. Can you just do as you're told, please?"
Yeah, that was a lot.
Sibling.
Then straight back into the sibling
Yeah,
dynamic,
It was
you know?
great.
Yeah.
I was so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
That
it was
really
great.
good.
The best moment was arguing with Sybil and then being like, "Alright, love you, bye."
Yeah.
And Sylvie being like, "What was that?" That was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, after that whole interaction, Robert very much was like, oh, Luck just enjoys winding people up, whether they mean to or not. You don't enjoy it? Why do you do it so much?
She doesn't mean to. She doesn't realise that
Yeah.
she is until it's too late.
Well, you do it a lot.
Yeah, or she literally she just doesn't think. The words just come out of her mouth so fast. And she just has so little awareness
Yeah.
that she doesn't realise until she's already said 5 things that have been annoying, and then she's like, "Oh, you're a bit annoyed with me now. Sorry."
Yeah.
But that's fine, it's good because Luck has developed, getting to the end of it, I found myself less annoyed. Like, I still get annoyed by you two. Don't get me wrong, but like less or so. Like as it's progressed.
I think because there's just more care underlying the annoyance than there was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question for y'all. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is your first time playing a new system, is it?
Yeah, as like a actual
Yeah,
player
Okay.
altogether.
So, and it's obviously your first time playing Fey Earth.
Yeah.
Yes.
For each of you, what was your favourite thing about the system?
That's a really good one.
No, I was gonna say I really like my skills, like my use of the way that for the gun, because I
For the
only know
gunslinger.
gunslinger. That I like the witch. I'd love to play a witch at some point because it looked really fun.
So good.
I've got too many things to pick from. Really, like 3 things.
That's why
this one.
that's why I'm going first, because I knew immediately. It's because it's the gunslinger skills, because I used driving shot once in that in this campaign. But it was a situation where I was like, right, I need to get this fucking robot man out of here.
Yeah.
Shoot him out the door.
Yeah.
Because he became a master of it, so they no longer do a fortitude thing, and it's
Which is good, because that thing probably
If you had fought Beckle's gang, you would have been using driving shot
Yes,
to knock
100%.
the other guys away.
Yeah.
It's a very situationally specific. It's a really useful skill, but it's situationally specific.
It was,
you know,
like that fight. I was like, all right, this is useful right now. I need this robot man out.
Because he was gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's my dex plus awareness, and I have a 5 dex and a 5 awareness.
Wow.
So it's 1d4 plus 10
Yeah, so
meters that they're driven back.
Yeah, so
Minimum
it's
of 11.
minimum of 11.
Yeah.
So it's rare occasions where it matters, but when it's I need people out of here. I was gonna use it for the werewolf fight, but you were just turning them into sloths, so I was like, I guess I'll just keep them nearby.
Yeah. Because I think you thought about it out loud, and I was really like,
Yeah.
I was really like, no, the whole plan will fall apart if you shoot them away.
Also, the sharpshooter, which I was just using all the time. There was no I can just shoot everyone.
You're basically dead shot.
Yeah, exactly.
You are dead shot.
And then the quick shot, which means I was doing 4 shots every round, because I could use a minor action to do an additional shot. And then my class feature means an additional tag with major action, so it means I could take 2 shots for a major action and then use each minor to use 2 more shots.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's why I was being able to do 40 something damage per per round.
Yeah. Yeah, your only problem was every 3 rounds you're reloading.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
I ended up I think I found out a good system realistically. I used all 6 in one gun, then I use 4 in the other gun, then I reload the 6th gun, and then I can do 4 and then 4, and then I'm out of them. But the fight never reached that point.
Yeah.
At no point the reach much longer than that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, gunslinger.
I've got 3, I think. And I've got to remember what they are. I really like the spell system.
Magic system.
Yeah. As somebody who doesn't play a spellcaster, that was so much fun. And because I was speaking to you about this earlier, one of the reasons I think I don't like playing spellcasters is because I can't handle being squishy. I need hit points, otherwise I will just run away. And you can be both. Which is nice.
In this system, certainly druids and witches are often tanky.
And some of them aren't. You can have your options, but that is one of them. I just like how the spell system works, and the spending manner is really cool. And the other one is that as you get stronger, the stuff you do get stronger. That one, that I like so much.
Because it makes so much sense.
Yeah, because obviously my spell is going to be more powerful now that I'm a level 10 compared to when I knew it as a level 1.
Yeah.
And it is hardwired into the mechanics.
Yeah. I love that. That is, I think, one of my favourite things.
Yeah.
Because were your attacks like that?
I mean,
Not really.
it was every time I
With
was
you,
running
it was
up-
more that your attack modifier was just slowly creeping.
Yeah, it was just so
Yeah.
I mean, I started at the beginning of this whole campaign, I was adding +8 to every shot,
Yeah.
and then by the end of it, I was adding with a normal revolver +11.
Yeah.
So it's and that's just the slow increase
Yeah.
from shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those were my top ones.
Yeah. Mine kind of just tie in, but like from the perspective of somebody who is like a spellcaster.
You are a spellcaster.
Like
mate.
in home games, like everything. Like I always gravitate towards spellcasting classes, and like I have never had so much fun doing combat, like ever. I don't think in any like TTRPG, because it like the way the magic system works is so straightforward, like easy to understand for people with silly brains. But it's also just so much fun because I think it gives you more creativity with what you do, having the 2 minors, the major, and then being able to have all of that be so adaptable based on your character things and your class things, that like everything is so, like everything can be so creative.
I liked having the like, you can use a minor action to move.
Yes.
Or you can do something else with it if you don't want to move.
Yeah.
Because like in D&D where you've got like your bonus, you've got your movement, and you've got your action. Yeah. It's like, if I'm not moving, which as a melee fighter I'm usually not.
You're usually not, no, yeah.
Like, because I'm always up close and like there's no point in me leaving. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is something that annoys me about systems that have that type of an action economy structure. Like, but if I'm not moving, I can do other things.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I just like, it's so specific and like flavour, but like the way which ritual spells are, it just scratches an itch in my brain. And I think it goes with like how much knowledge you as a human being have in you about everything. Because there were so many things I was like, oh, this is so sick, and then you would tell me exactly where it originated and like what it was. Yeah. And it just makes it so much more satisfying to then like feel as Sylvie like whipping out and doing, because it feels really connected.
It is definitely a bonus of having you as our GM.
Okay.
Yeah. We were given the special Fey Earth treatment.
You did have the deluxe version, I suppose.
We did.
And what about you, Morne?
Mine was that like the actual skills and
the way these skills and ability scores worked.
Yes, and also the spells. I just found them a lot more simpler, and I used them more. When I've played D&D, I forget about everything, and I'm like, I've got this, oh wait, I've got this. Whereas this, like, I was like, oh, I've got that, and I actually know how to use it.
Because your spell descriptions are kind of chunky, but I think that's
that helps. I think.
Because you're not confused about what they do.
So many times we're like, what does that actually mean?
I've been playing Taya for a year.
Yeah.
I still don't know what my blood curse is.
Literally.
When do you ever use your blood curse?
I used it once on Jonathan.
Yeah, that is fair, because, I mean, I love the Blood Hunter as a class.
Yeah.
But I think I had to read through that class description 3 times before I understood it. And I'm a smart guy.
Maybe you can explain it to me.
I'm a smart guy, but I still, like, the blood curses were confusing, you know?
Yeah.
And like you were saying, because we didn't really have any like fighters, but you were saying that there are like specific beats that you can get as fighters that like, so you've still got cool stuff to do.
Yeah.
Which is nice because, again, as somebody who's like always a melee fighter, I do love it. I don't have to think that much. I just hit things, but like, I just hit things.
Yeah.
Whereas this time I got to be like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and that's going to help that.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's funny because I'm playing a character whose character is I just shoot things.
Yeah.
But like,
but it still seems
there's a level of like satisfaction to it because like a lot of the time I am just going, I'm going to shoot and I'm going to use my quick shot every time. But like there is the opportunity of like, because I know there are other like gunslinging skills that I could have taken. And I did consider the trick shot one.
What does that do?
At beginner level, you do a leg shot, and if they fail the roll, you do half damage, but they're knocked prone to the ground.
Oh, that's cool.
And then it goes up like the intermediate is a torso shot which stuns. Advanced is a shot on the hand which disarms, but you can also use that as a reaction against the melee attack to stop an attack.
Oh, that's cool.
And then the mastery is a headshot that does double damage and stuns.
That's very cool.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was like, because I was going to get it when I was getting to level 10, but I was like, getting a beginner new skill right now
isn't that
doesn't feel right.
I suppose
I got
you knew who Robert was.
Yeah,
like you'd be changing him. You
Exactly,
know?
and I went for like arcane resistance instead.
Yeah.
Which was just kind of like that.
We're about to go fight a goblin.
Yeah.
That was part of it, and the other part of it, like Robert fucking hates magic. I
Yeah.
think, like he enjoys.
If
Like,
you didn't have the stone, that a +1 would have been handy in trying to resist. I mean, in reality, you would have needed an 20 because the ancient goblin was spelled at 25. But
Yeah.
The point still stands.
Point still
But you
stands.
know what's mental?
But
The ancient goblin had a spell might of 25.
Mine was 21.
Mine was 21
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually not that far away.
Yeah, like mine started on level 8 at 21. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think mine started at 20
Yeah.
and my wild was 21.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And then my magic went up.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of go pew pew.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other fey creatures with higher spell rate.
Yeah, but that's still, like, a bit mental.
Yeah. It is cool.
I loved being able to do B shape as a...
That was
As
so
a-
good. As a
costing
minor.
1 mana
Yeah.
and then being
So
able to do it as a
good.
minor.
So good.
That was good. But I love that, like, you could either have your 2 minors or you could then attack again.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
extra attack.
Yeah,
That
as a
was-
rogue,
yeah.
you were like, if I don't want to use my 2 minors to move and do other shit,
Yeah.
I hit them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Which is great. It definitely helped a couple of times with the
Oh,
especially
God,
with the
yeah.
Oh,
confusions.
yeah.
But, like
Yeah.
especially with your confusion thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I just loved it.
Yeah, it's been like
I
so
really don't want to stop.
Same.
I'm really sad that it's
Same.
over.
So shall we first say?
I think we should do a live show. And it should go on for 24
10
hours.
years. Yeah.
We're doing a subathon, 24 hours. We keep playing. First, favorite moment from like these
This
2 episodes.
episode.
Like favorite moment.
God, I have too many from these.
There was a lot in these 2 episodes. In these 2 episodes, you spot a dragon and a goblin. In fairness.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think my favorite moment was the defeating of the dragon. Because as much as I would have
Yeah.
really liked defeating Aldous, but like he's not dead, so
Yeah.
it's not. So, but like even like killing a dragon would have felt nice. But the thing is, we defeated the dragon and we saved on a wider
Yeah.
scale
Yeah.
the people of London.
And we
like,
didn't have to kill it, which is what we didn't want.
Yeah.
Like,
I loved the celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
it
I
was
think-
when we all went round. Who did you save? All of London.
Yeah.
Who did you save?
All of
That was
London.
so
Like
good.
that was amazing.
I really enjoyed seeing you, because I think the dragon was the first time we saw Poppet's melody.
No, it was
No,
on the wall.
it was the
Oh,
it was the
on
second
wall.
time, but
But you got a major.
That was my
you
first
got a
major
major
critical
critical
hit.
Yeah.
injury. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah. Because they're fucking.
Yeah.
That is
They
that
are.
spell.
That's another thing that
that
I really
spell
like.
is
Is the
everything
like
for me.
crit,
The
like
crit mechanics.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's really like, oh no, that does
that fucks
damage.
Yeah.
you up.
Yeah.
You know, because like it is cool to be able to do double damage in general, but like that's really
satisfying.
cool.
Yeah.
That's like that could win you the battle
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah. Those are, I think, my favourite moments. However, Bardo crying in the shop is really quite up there for me. Like, it really is. I keep thinking about it, and it's so good.
Watching Robert get himself riled up was quite fun as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, also, Robert starting that combat was just, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think.
That
That's
was iconic.
I think. Oh yeah, and also the classic. My penis is fine.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Because it was like, the goblin started saying something, and then you're like, oh, I'm sure I got herbs. He's like, alright, my penis is not what's on discussion here, guys.
That was good.
That was good. If that is the name of the finale of this
No,
campaign,
please.
I think it's gonna
I
be.
think it has to be.
yeah.
I think IMDb will block it.
Well, no, but we can
Star
have a little
out.
asterisk
Oh,
on the E.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
My penis is fine.
So funny.
We can do
Because we had
Dollar
P-
symbol.
Yeah.
Dollar symbol S.
yeah.
Yeah.
pen
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was very good.
What about GM? Favourite moment from these two?
I don't know. I mean, there were great episodes and so much happened.
So much.
I think possibly when you were having the conversation with Aldous though, and he was talking about how you have these relationship issues and you
Oh,
have
that
companions,
was good.
and he took out the bear and you shot it in the head.
That was good.
That was, yeah, that whole sequence was
That
really
was
good.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, fuck that there.
I really enjoyed all of Aldous' conversations
Aldous
with
was a
Robert
really
Stone.
good character.
Yeah.
It's truly because like Aldous like really didn't say much to Robert, but Robert's just kind of like, I hate you. Like,
Yeah.
you have done like the
Your
hatred.
enemy number one.
It's truly like the hatred came from like Aldous didn't do anything to Robert. However, Robert found out information of what Aldous was doing.
Yeah.
And Aldous just being like, and then Robert being like, oh, I hate you. Actually, I hate you. I thought I hated these guys. I actually hate you.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
want to
hate
know
us.
why Robert is so against magic. Is it just that like the Scotland story, or is there something else? Like,
I mean, if we
that's what
continue,
wanna
I mean, if
know.
we continue, like that, there's some stuff in the backstory that I'm just going to tell you. If like, cause it, there's opportunities. Oh yeah, no, Bardo knows. Bardo knows.
Morne knows.
Yeah.
Oh, Morne
Because
knows.
Bardo.
Yeah.
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 I guess I'll just have to fly
You
back
know
to England.
more.
I think you will.
Yeah. I guess you just have to fly back to
Maybe
England.
I've been
yeah.
having
How are you not aware of this? Like, obviously.
They've been having
I
entire secret
know.
conversations for the entire.
know.
on screen.
I know.
And off just like,
Yeah.
all day,
Like,
every
we
day.
have seen conversations like,
I
right,
know.
what chats would we have had? Yeah.
But I just didn't really think that Robert would tell Bardo why he hates magic.
No, he
because
didn't.
Bardo's
No,
magic.
I think that's absolutely right. I don't think Robert told Bardo.
No.
Rio told Morne.
Well, if Morne's allowed to know, why can't we know?
Because I like seeing you guys react.
I just
in
think
character.
it's fair. Like,
Yeah.
I think it makes the most sense.
I like seeing you guys react in character. It's very fun when I get it. When I do something and like you guys across the table go, "Aww."
It was so good. You do have to come back.
You do,
Yes.
because this is not finished.
Yeah, I simply
And I think the
refuse.
people are going to agree.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Maybe this just becomes a regular thing. Actually,
Hmm.
Yeah. How often do you like getting flights?
I mean, we've just filmed what, like 3 months worth of content. You only have to do it 4 times a year.
Yeah, we'll see you in March,
Wow.
Great.
February.
Yeah.
See you in February.
I just think we should do, like another campaign, like you said, set further down the line.
Yeah.
And just catch up with them. Like, I want to know.
It's okay. I'm not busy right now at all.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
What else have you? What
You've
else
only
have you got
like
going
a
on?
book that you're writing.
Yeah.
And
Two
multiple
books
Yeah.
I'm writing.
A job.
a job,
A
a
child.
a wife,
Yeah.
life in general.
Yeah.
Another stream that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like we're busy at all either.
No.
But
Before we go, does anyone have like a favourite moment from the entire campaign, or is that too much to ask?
I think all the favourite moments that I've said on every Fraternizing with the Fae, like,
I think they're just
Yeah.
too good.
No,
and especially the ones from these last.
I
two.
want to leave.
You give a bad taste to the romantics.
there is definitely so many.
Those
just-
are so
iconic.
good. There's so many
Those
good
are the
points
best.
throughout.
Yeah.
They fall down the stairs.
Old
people.
We need one for Sylvie.
She's had loads.
I'm
There is-
sure she
yeah.
has. I just can't think right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's been so good.
It's been
And
so
I'm
fun.
so happy that we managed to like schedule everything and actually get together and make it happen.
Yeah, because we've been planning this for.
This has been in the works for a long time actually.
Yeah.
Since the summer we
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
We've been planning this. Yeah, a long
Yeah.
time.
Because it was before we got super busy, because I remember being like, we're going to get super busy
Yeah.
and it needs to be after that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been looking forward to it for so long.
Yeah.
It's been so good.
And I was looking forward to it for all of half an hour.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll have to bring Lyndon in next time. we do it.
As another
Lyndon will have
character,
to come in.
But
That'll be
it will also
interesting.
be called Robert Elizabeth with the gunslinger.
I truly have no idea how I'm going to work that into my backstory, but that's fine. I'm sure that's fine.
Just see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just copying you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my name is Robert Elizabeth.
Maybe you're the original Robert Elizabeth.
Yeah, because my name
Maybe,
is.
maybe he's the fake identity.
Maybe he saw your name in the newspaper.
Oh my god, he stole my identity. Yeah, oh my god, because he wants to be like, no, I'm Robert Elizabeth, who's
Yeah.
I'm the hero of Hyde Park.
Yeah.
I killed the wolf of Whitechapel.
Yeah. Maybe that would be really good.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Before we go, what was it like playing with us, having
Yeah.
only ever
Yes.
seen us online?
How is it?
Because I'm intrigued by that.
And like a bunch of actors too.
You said that with such disdain. A bunch of actors.
You're one of us.
Oh shit!
It was wonderful. It was. There was.
Oh, that sounds like a butt coming.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. There was less crying than I'm used to from you all.
Yeah.
So
true.
That is
This
what
was way
happens.
more chaotic.
I think that's what happens with us when we do short things.
Yeah.
And I think it's also what happens because Demons and Daughters is so emotionally intense,
Yeah.
we all, I think, lean a bit more towards comedy things when we do, like,
Yeah.
other projects.
Which, you know, advertising, you should always advertise the opposite of what your actual campaign
Yeah.
is.
But the thing I actually, thinking about it in fairness now, just in this moment, what I loved the most was working with a team of players, with a table of players who were able to just so effortlessly bounce off of each other and come in on each other's sentences.
I love
That
you guys.
that was brilliant to see. That was where I could see the training as actors coming in, the way you were able to just yes and each other in just incredibly brilliant ways. And it wasn't even just an RP thing. It was a storytelling thing, you know? It wasn't like, oh, let's make it more emotive and dramatic. No, it was like just continuing the narrative and the next that was brilliant, the way you played off each other in the scenes. That was a real pleasure because I mean, look, my players in my game, they're phenomenal. I love them to bits. Some of them are really, really experienced gamers, but they would be they'd all straight away say, yeah, we're not trained actors. And there is a difference in that, you know, that like my players will have these amazing emotional moments of RP with each other, but the way you guys were able to just like literally just bounce off each other's sentences, like that was a dream.
It does help as well that we're all in person.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely
That
does.
does make a huge difference, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Being in person, like, is one of the things that is the like I watch people who do it and they're like on call with each other, and like I've done it with a couple of things, and it's really like
it's so much harder.
It's
like
so
I
different.
find it
It
so
is.
hard to like.
and because of the lagging, like you never want to come in when somebody else it's so much more difficult.
Oh, it is.
It's
Yeah.
a lot easier to have that when we're all here.
But I think that's at the core of what is the soul of Damsels in Distress, is the way you're able to have this energy because you're all in person.
100%. I mean, the show, nothing we do would work if we weren't, or we wouldn't have made the show, like, and we wouldn't be doing this.
No.
You know, and again, it's the same thing. Like, I love playing, and you know, I've played on a few people's streams, and I've got stuff coming up, and I'm so excited, and it's great. But it's just a different thing. Like, it feels like a very different form of what this is to this. But I'm glad you've gotten to experience that with us.
Would you recommend it? Would you recommend GMing this group of people?
Yes, you just need to have a lot of energy,
And patience.
a lot of patience, and be able to throw out all your plans halfway through your first session, and then just make it up as you go along.
Do you have understanding/sympathy for Lyndon?
I really feel like the torment he puts you all through is so much more justified now.
Brutal.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Lovely.
Wow.
Yeah, fair enough. Right.
Okay.
That
I
feels.
didn't think we were that
I,
bad.
that feels like where we're leaving it.
Yeah.
Time to leave with a bad taste of romantics.
You give a bad taste to the romantics.
This has been so much fun.
It
Like,
really has.
I can't wait to play again.
Yeah.
It's
It's been good to be back at the table with you.
It's been so nice to have you
Yes.
back.
Hashtag bring back Seth.
Hashtag bring back Seth.
It would have been such a different show with
Lyndon.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
don't
so
think we would have
interesting.
riled Lyndon's character.
It just would have been so different, and we'll never know.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
No.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was fun. It's just really fun playing, like, because like Seth is a very like quiet. But it's been so fun to play someone who just gets like agitated and like the switch of a
Because
dime.
this is your first time playing an actual
A character with stats.
statted character in
and it's been
anything
such,
ever.
It's been such a good system to do. Cause
Rio's always an NPC or a GM.
Yeah. That's one of the two. And you know, I enjoy those. I enjoy doing
Yeah.
it. But this was fun. This was really fun.
Yeah.
And I hope to do
Good.
it again soon.
Yeah.
We'll see you in February.
Yeah, see you in February. It's so funny because we don't know when this is going to air, so this...
3 months of content.
Yeah.
So
Which we have filmed over 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over
Not
2
3
days
Two and a
and
half
an
days.
evening.
2.5
I mean, it's
days.
probably the early hours of the morning right
Oh,
now.
it's I think
yeah.
after 1.
We have no
Yeah,
sleep
have a direct
tonight.
look.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
shit,
half
it's
past 2.
2 in the morning.
God.
And with that,
At that point, we'll leave you.
Thank you
Give
so
us a
much.
like,
Thank you
subscribe
so
to
much.
us, subscribe to Fey Earth. They're brilliant.
They're
You should
books.
definitely
play
watch their
Fey
shit.
Earth.
Buy them,
Yes.
play
Keep-
it,
yeah, keep
do
it on.
it. It's so well researched. Like
It-
everything
it
is real and
literally
it's so
is.
cool.
Any socials, like...
What are your socials?
What are your socials?
I'm at Fey Earth everywhere.
How do you spell it?
FEY Earth.
Earth. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do it.
do it.
And until next time,
Submissive
submissive
and
and subscribable.
Mwah.
You said it.
Bye.